I just came from a session, a working group on Ebola. Really all the key people, or many of them who are working on this from around the world were there, including Tony Banbury and David Navarro from the UN, who are leading the international effort. Tony had just come from a meeting with Ban Ki-moon and President Obama and was talking about the priority to which those two leaders are putting on this Ebola crisis, how significant it really is for the region, for the three countries, Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, where it's at the moment highly present, but also for the region and for potentially for the world if we don't resolve it now. That message was clear, but there's really a tension, I think, that was evident among the NGO leaders and business leaders, philanthropists and others, between the need to do something now, the immediacy of the crisis, the desire to coordinate it and to avoid chaos, and really to address the long-term underlying health systems issues that everyone has been talking about when it comes to this crisis. You know, why are we here today? The health system in the country was just not strong enough to handle the outbreak of Ebola. And so there's a real tension between these three key issues that was evident in the discussion, and some frustration around the need to try to look at all of them at the same time. Some people concerned about what happened in Haiti were eager to avoid what was called a humanitarian circus. Many others are eager to find a plan, some plan that they can attach themselves to. But really, if there's one key message that came out of it, it is that right now the gaps are much bigger than they ought to be. There's much more need for immediate reaction than there is for anything else. The UN representatives made it clear that they are putting down a backbone of support and infrastructure, a platform that others can tap into and leverage. But they don't want to hold anyone back from getting engaged because the needs are so enormous right now. One really interesting tidbit to give you a sense of how urgent this is, the Centers for Disease Control, they're highly active in the region. They've got 700 people total working on this, 100 who are on the ground. And in order to get the funding to do that quickly enough to move, they actually, although they're a government entity, had to go to a private philanthropist. And the co-founder of Microsoft, Paul Allen, the billionaire philanthropist, gave them the funds that they needed to be able to stand this up so quickly. So it just gives you a sense of how many actors are involved in trying to address what could really spiral further out of control than it is now. We heard from representatives of MSF who have emergency facilities there that within the first 30 minutes in the morning when they open their facility, all of their beds are filled, and anyone else who shows up really just dies on the ground. That's how severe the issue is, and there was a representative from Liberia and from Sierra Leone there as well who clearly overcome with the scale of this issue, and there's just an urgent appeal to the world to act. In terms of global health professionals, development professionals, Devex members who may want to act, we're going to continue to report on this. One thing that's clear is there is a need for more and more skilled volunteers to go to the region, and one particular need that was emphasized was international experts who know how to manage health facilities. They may be able to get enough local people to actually staff those facilities, but international experts who can manage health facilities is a key need, along with many, many others. We'll continue to bring you this information about Ebola, and we thank you for staying tuned to this key issue.